Good morning, Nigeria. It's Monday, the 26th of January, and the race for the 2027 is already being argued in the present tense. I'm Samson Balogo, and this is Daybreak Live, where political confidence is tested and power claims are interrogated.
Definitely. And Amoluwaemi Hadilako. The statement setting the tone this morning comes from the ruling camp. An Atiku Obi combined ticket can't defeat President Tinubu in 2027. According to a serving minister, it's a bold dismissal and an early shot fired in what promises to be a long electoral battle.
All right, indeed, when politicians begin to predict defeat for imagined coalitions, it tells us one thing. The calculations have already started. The alliances may be hypothetical, but the anxiety is real right here.
Yeah, in a moment, I'll bring you Daybreak News with the top national development shaping governance, politics, and public life as the week begins.
After that, we move into newspaper headlines and analysis, where today's front pages are examined beyond the ink. Joining us is Afolabi, public affairs analyst.
Then it's a big story, and this one goes straight to the art of APC's internal calculations. The Shetima factor, how crucial is the VP slot to APC's 2027 chances? Is the vice presidency a stabilizing force or the party's quiet pressure point?
To unpack that, we are joined by Honorable Omolaja Olaoye, an APC stalwart and public affairs analyst. He's a public voice too, bringing political insight and party perspective to a conversation many are already having behind closed doors.
Definitely. Then we round things off with Trend Watch, capturing the conversations Nigerians are having online, offline, and within political circles.
It's Monday morning. The statements are confident. The stakes are really high.
Definitely. This is Daybreak Live, and the politics has already begun. Let's get into it.
Straight into it.
Yeah.
Good morning to you. It's a new week, a brand new week, and there are brand new conversations out there.
Right.
Behind closed doors, people are having some quiet, not so quiet conversations, but definitely they are ones that are really they have to do with what the future looks like for the political class in the year 2027. And a serving minister under this administration came out to fire a shot yesterday and mentioned that even Atiku will be combined ticket can't defeat Tinubu in 2027. I think that is, for me, I think it's a dismissal that really might set the APC up for failure in 2027, because overlooking and dismissing your opposition, especially for a candidate that gathered so much votes on that within a short period of time in the Labour Party in the last election, 2023, for someone who has been a mainstay in the Nigerian political ecosystem for a long time, Atiku Abubakar, who knows his way around getting the tickets. So if you are saying these two people who have contested elections and we have seen what they have gathered in terms of votes around the country, Atiku holds the power in the core north. If he has a candidate that can give him equal votes in the southeast, that means there might be a problem for the APC, even though they are going to share the spoils. But definitely one will get more votes than the other. So for a serving minister to make this statement, I mean, there might be overconfidence on their part.
Yes, honestly, when I watched the video yesterday, I was a bit surprised too, because, I mean, one thing I like to reiterate to people is regardless of the party that you belong to, you know, when you want to analyze a certain issue, it's best for you to put out a balanced analysis so that, you know, your biases are not so obvious because of the party that you belong to. But then I almost got carried away by a fine accent and eloquence, but then I had to remind myself that there's something that I need to pick out from this. And then she was able to base her argument on certain premises. She said the ADC is too crowded. And that's one thing that can actually affect the outcome of the election. But I don't quite agree with that, because this same APC in 2015, before 2015, you know, quite a number of parties came together. You talk about the ACN, talk about the CPC and other major parties.
The new PDP, the NPDP at the time.
Exactly. So these parties came together, and then at the end of the day, they were able to kick PDP out of power. So she talking about the population. Population can become a problem only if it's not, you know, used in the right way. Because, I mean, even economists will come and tell you that, okay, high population can actually increase or can boost the economy. So, yes, we have a lot of big shots in the ADC, and if care is not taking, something might go wrong. I think she was saying that because, I mean, we have the likes of Atiku, Obi, and then the supporters of Obi, you know, many times have come out to say that if you give him vice president, we are not going to be part of this. She now said something that caught my attention, that if at all it's been reversed, and then Obi becomes the presidential candidate and Atiku becomes the vice, which I don't think can ever happen.
That's next to impossible.
Exactly. She now mentioned that, that's like the closest way for ADC to lose. Because according to her, the northern people and of course the supporters of B will not be part of that ticket. So it's an issue. But then there's one thing about the ADC that interests me so much is the fact that they are so silent about zoning. I don't know, it's like they're planning one surprise, for the entire nation. And then we need to hold on to see what they are bringing forward, because Yoruba people will say, the ADC is quite silent about quite a number of things. Yes, a lot of them have come out to say, I'm contesting and I will be I'll be on the ballot, but we do not know, so much about the zoning system. So we need to be calm. And she also mentioned something. She said, apart from the population, of course, is crowded, she said there's also one man that wants to be king. And I don't know who she's referring to, but I just want to take a guess, because we have Atiku. Yeah, that's because this is since 1993. Obi just joined the race soon. So she also said because of these issues, ADC might not work. But then, beyond talking about who is going to win or who is going to lose, can we begin to talk about a free and fair election? Because at the end of the day, if we can ensure that electorate will be ready to elect whosoever they want, and at the end of the day, we can all go back home and then continue our journey. Well,
you mentioned something about the party being overcrowded, and that brings us to the question about is the ADC growing or swelling? It's a very big question. There might eventually be internal implosion, which might affect the party in the long run. But as it stands, they have been very silent about how things are being done. Yes, just like you said, there might be a surprise come 2027, but how much of that surprise will catch the attention or catch the fancy of average Nigerians? That's a big question. How much of that will catch the attention of party men? Now, the question is, those who are in the ADC as we speak, are they politicians or they are party men? These are two different things. As a politician, all that matters to you is your own interest. As long as it aligns with your own interest, you are still in the party. If it doesn't, you are leaving. Okay? As a party man, whatever the party is supreme, whatever the party wants, you are still staying put, supporting the candidate even though you don't get the ticket. But I don't see so many of them in that party as party men. Right? Eventually, there might be a level of consensus. Oh, let's come together, reach a compromise, and let's do this, because we have so much, what you call, I don't want to use the word hatred. We don't want this administration, want to kick them out of office. It might eventually happen. But Rotimi Amechi has moved from one party to the other in the past, meaning that he's not a loyal party man. He's definitely a politician. As long as his interests align with yours, he's definitely going to be with you. So there might be another party that catches his fancy tomorrow, especially now that he has said that he wants to contest to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Peter Obi so many times has moved from party to party. He was at APGA, to PDP, to Labour Party, and now to ADC. So there's no nothing that says he will not leave the ADC for another party even before the election comes. Atiku Abubakar, yes, from the SDP to the PDP to ACN, is moved here and there. In fact, he contested under the ACN. So it means that Atiku Abubakar is not loyal to any political party. Once your interest does not align with his, he's definitely leaving. So how much more of several people? The only person that can say has not really moved in recent times, I can talk about Rauf Aregbesola, who has been a progressive all his life before he moved to the ADC due to the fisticuff or the issue between himself and the current president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So one way or the other, he has been a progressive. He has been there since it all started during the AD days, and definitely we might say, oh, if at all is leaving for another political party, he might likely be back in the APC. So all of them put together, I don't see an actual party man in their fold. But the truth is, when interests align, you might just be together for the sake of one goal. But then they all did this in 2015 to kick PDP out of office. They all came together and said, this is what we want. The new PDP then consisted of even Bukola Saraki of Kwara State, former Senator Bukola Saraki, former Senate President. So with all these names put together, will they eventually align? Will they be on the same page as regards the next election? It's a big question. But then we'll get there to that point where we want to see exactly what will happen. As it stands, nobody's really saying anything. There has been meetings behind closed doors. And one thing I like about the ADC right now is that even if they are having any form of crisis behind closed doors, nobody is saying anything. You are not even reading some of their crises on the pages of the newspaper. And most importantly, what keeps a political party alive is that people don't really know what you are doing. So it can spring surprises.
Exactly. I think you're very spot on. And then one more thing is people are not looking at the side of the likes of El-Rufai. whether we like it or not, is a major.
It's a major force.
Is a major person in that political party, in that coalition.
Especially from that region.
And then one more person is, we are not really sure if he's going to move to the ADC or the APC. It might also count for something. That's Kwakwanso. And then over the weekend, because I mean, I think officially Yusuf is said to defect to the APC today, this morning, and NMPP, and they came out recently to say that, okay, this is a betrayal.
They were at Rabbi Musa Kwakwanso's house yesterday, uninvited, a large number of people saying, look, what exactly is the problem? Are we all moving to the APC, or we are staying put in the NMPP? But that man has not given a response, because he had a condition. He gave conditions. If I'm joining your political party, it's either I'm getting the presidential ticket or I'm getting the vice presidential ticket. Well, these are two things that might likely come in the ADC as it stands. Atiku wants to contest. Rotimi Amaechi wants to contest. At least one of them would want to contend with, oh, if I cannot get the presidential ticket, let me get the vice presidential ticket. But will Atiku relinquish that particular thing that he's been looking for a long time, which is to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? I don't think so. Yeah,
it doesn't look like it, honestly, except there's a miracle somewhere that's going to happen before the next election. I mean, because, I mean, looking at it, I just mentioned Kwakwanso, now we are not quite certain where he's going to, I mean, against this next election. And of course, for him, just like you mentioned, he wants either presidency or vice presidency. And there are other persons that they are not so popular in that coalition. And they will also want this, okay, they have a preferred candidate. So this is one thing that we need to look at, or the ATC should look at, because at the end of the day, if they are unable to tame their ego, it will not work. And then the likes of this Minister of Art and Culture, Anatu Musawa, they already predicted that, okay, looking at this party, looking at the crowd, it's not going to work. So they are just going to affirm whatever it is that
the obedient movement are saying it's either will be or nothing. And the ADC has cautioned them to say, look, we do not have that ideology here that it's either will be or nothing. We have to all work together, go to the primaries, and that is what they've been saying. We are going to the primaries. And we all know that there is one person that has the ability to get it done when it comes to contesting the primary elections. How he does it, I don't know. But Atiku Abubakar will definitely give everyone a run for their money in the primaries.
He said several times that he has never lost the primaries. I mean, that's a good boast.
I don't know how he does it.
However, he has also never won any presidential election, and I think that's why he still wants to contest this time around. So it's really up to him to decide whatever he wants to do. Speaking about the obedient movement, I think there are factions now, unlike the 2023 elections,
where there was a united front.
Exactly. Now that he left the Labour Party, some obedient are still loyal to the Labour Party, and we have some obedient who are loyal to his former vice president candidates. That's Dati Baba Ahmed. So, and there are people who are loyal to Obi. And one more thing is, I was on X yesterday, and someone dropped an analysis, and I could not help it but just smile. This person said, obedient own Peter Obi in a sense. And I was trying to think about it, what he meant by that. And then he was trying to explain that because obedient are saying if he doesn't follow what they want, they will not support him. So in that sense, he thinks obedient own Peter Obi. But at the end of the day, Peter Obi still can still decide whatever it is he wants to do. He might decide to take up the vice presidency, whether they will support him or not. So 2027 is going to be very, very interesting, and we cannot really wait to dissect these issues.
Well, lastly, on that note, I think one way or the other, I think the obedient, they are right. Because in the last election, they came out in their numbers and gave him that kind of vote, and that's massive. And that if, at this point, the only reason that people think Peter Obi can win the presidential election in the forthcoming election 2027 is because of what he did and what the obedience did in the 2023 general elections. So if they now feel like they own him because they have the numbers and they know what they can push out when it comes to coming out in their numbers to vote, then they know exactly what they are saying, even though they might not have used the right words to actually describe that. But the truth is, whoever has the ability to put you in office, I mean, one way or the other, they own you. But the thing is, will Peter Obi admit that they actually own him one way? But I don't think so.
I mean,
if he feels like with or without any movement, he has the credibility to win an election. And he's been going out saying all of that. Let's see what will happen. First of all, we'll wait for the primaries in the ADC. And when he gets the tickets, we'll monitor closely what the election will look like in 2027. And if without the coalition of the obedient movement, all of them coming together, eventually wins, or any other thing happens. We'll see what the obedience will say eventually.
And what if another political party decides to join
or to join the ADC?
Well, that'll be the game changer.
The game changer, actually. All right, moving on. Let's take weather report on this show this morning, and let's see what weather looks like in the ancient city of Ibadan. Currently in Ibadan Southwest, weather feels like 23 degrees Celsius right here. And later in the morning, it will rise by 5 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy at 12%. It will be sunny in the afternoon with a sharp rise to 36 degrees Celsius at 0%, while in the evening it will drop to 28 degrees Celsius. The weather will be clear at 4%, and overnight it will be mostly cloudy, 24 degrees Celsius, 9% in Ibadan today.
Okay, let's cross over to Lagos this morning. Weather feels like 31 degrees Celsius, and later is expected to drop to 29 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy around 2%. In the afternoon, we have 32 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy around 1%. And in the evening, 28 degrees Celsius, clear around 5%. And overnight, it drops to 27 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy around 10%. And that's what we have for Lagos this morning.
All right, moving on, let's take this from the south, and that is Port Harcourt, Rivers State. What the weather looks like in Port Harcourt, 23 degrees Celsius right now, and later in the morning it will rise to 28 degrees Celsius. Scattered thunderstorms at 59% in Port Harcourt. Later in the morning it will rise by just 2 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, and there will be scattered thunderstorms too at 35%, while in the evening it will drop to 24 degrees Celsius, mostly clear, 7%, and overnight it will be partly cloudy at 23 degrees Celsius at 8% right there in Port Harcourt, Rivers State.
Okay, let's cross over to the southeast, and I have Enugu North. Weather this morning feels like 24 degrees Celsius, and later is expected to rise to 30 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy around 1%. And in the afternoon, 37 degrees Celsius, that's a sharp rise, partly cloudy around 0%. In the evening, it drops to 29 degrees Celsius, clear around 1%. And overnight, 25 degrees Celsius, partly cloudy around 7%, and that's what we have for Enugu North this morning.
All right, moving on to the north central this morning. We'll be taking the weather report from the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. What the weather looks like right now in Abuja. Right now, it feels like 25 degrees Celsius right there, and later in the morning it will rise to 31 degrees Celsius, sunny at 0%. It will remain sunny in the afternoon, 36 degrees Celsius, also 0%. While in the evening and overnight, it will be clear at 28 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius respectively in Abuja today.
Okay, let's cross over to Suleja, Niger. Weather feels like 25 degrees Celsius this morning, and is expected to rise to 32 degrees Celsius, sunny around 0% still in the morning. In the afternoon, we have 37 degrees Celsius, sunny around 0%. In the evening, it drops to 29 degrees Celsius, clear around 0%. And overnight, it drops further to 25 degrees Celsius, clear around 0%. And that's what we have for Suleja, Niger this morning.
All right, moving on to the far north this morning, let's take weather report from Kano Municipal in Kano State. Weather here in Kano currently feels like 17 degrees Celsius right there, and later in the morning it will rise to 25 degrees Celsius, sunny at 0%. In the afternoon it will also rise to 32 degrees Celsius, mostly sunny, 0%. It will be mostly clear in the evening at 22 degrees Celsius, 0%. While overnight it will be partly cloudy, 18 degrees Celsius, and 0% right there in Kano.
Okay, let's cross over to Maiduguri, Borno this morning. Weather feels like 18 degrees Celsius, and then the morning is expected to rise to 29 degrees Celsius, sunny around 0%. In the afternoon, 34 degrees Celsius, sunny around 0%. And in the evening, it drops to 24 degrees Celsius, clear around 0%. And overnight, it drops further to 19 degrees Celsius, clear around 0%. And that's what we have for Borno this morning.
All right, that will be all on weather report this morning. Thank you for being a part of the show so far. Do well to link up with us on all socials, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Dominion Cast. You can watch us live on our website at www.dominion.org.ng, dominion.org.ng. Do well to drop comments on our Facebook and YouTube channels at Dominion Broadcast. Follow, like the page, and of course share. All right, let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll take the news. We'll be back.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Cast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Good morning. This is Daybreak News on Dominion Television. I'm Oluwayemi Adelakun. The Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, ICRC, has said that the signing of the concession agreement for Akano Ebiam International Airport, Enugu, is a major boost for the Southeast economy. ICRC Director General Dr. Jobson Ewalifo described the agreement as a milestone in the federal government's drive to modernize infrastructure through public-private partnerships. He said the agreement was signed by the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development and the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, under ICRC's regulatory oversight. Ewalifo noted that the concession will enhance connectivity, support tourism and trade, and strengthen the airport's role as a key gateway for the Southeast. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has scrapped special concessions and registration procedures previously granted to candidates with albinism for the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, citing abuse of the privilege for examination malpractice. The board also warned faith-based tertiary institutions to clearly declare their religious status at the time of admission, saying it is deceptive to present as secular and later impose religious rules on students. JAMB Registrar Professor Isaac Oloide made this known at a meeting with commissioners for education from the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory in Ikeja, Lagos. Oloide said the meeting reviewed past admission exercises and noted that some candidates still find ways to bypass safeguards. Gunmen suspected to be bandits have killed a police inspector in Oyo State. The official was killed when a police patrol team was ambushed at the Buduma-Salasi border post around 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. Other officers sustained injuries during the attack. The Oyo State Police Command confirmed the incident on Sunday. Police Public Relations Officer Olayinka Ayolade said the inspector died from injuries sustained while repelling the attack. He added that the Commissioner of Police has ordered a full investigation and that operatives are currently on the trail of the suspect. Residents have been advised to remain vigilant and report suspicious movement or individuals with gunshot injuries to the nearest police station. The Lagos State government has defended the demolition of structures in Makoko and other waterfront communities, saying their action is aimed at protecting lives and property. Government officials speaking at an event said the demolitions were carried out for security, safety, and environmental reasons. Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, dismissed claims that the exercise was anti-poor, explaining that many of the structures were built under high-tension power lines and along critical waterways, posing serious risk. He added that the government had engaged affected communities for over 5 years and warned that a falling power line into the lagoon could cause a major disaster. In business, the federal government, through the Rural Electrification Agency and Lotus Bank, has announced plans to expand collaboration and financing off-grid electricity projects across Nigeria. Their Managing Director, Dr. Abali, called on the bank to set clear funding targets and internal standards to help developers scale operations beyond pilot projects. Both parties are working towards signing a memorandum of understanding to formalize the partnership, which is expected to support renewable energy projects, especially in rural and undeserved communities. The initiative falls under the government's distributed access through Renewable Energy Scale-Up program. And in sports for this morning, Abia Warriors forward Suraj Lawal is set to return for their match day 22 clash against Nasarawa United. Lawal is back to full fitness after recovering from injury, boosting the Umuahia-based side as they aim to close the gap on league leaders Rivers United, who are not in action this weekend due to CAF Champions League commitment. The forward has scored twice this season for Imama Amak Pakablu's team. Abia Warriors will host Nasarawa United at the Umuahia Township Stadium today. Meanwhile, team captain Augustine Njoko has resumed light training after injury. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at Dominion Cast. That's Daybreak News. I'm Oluwayemi Adelako saying thank you for watching and good morning.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
Welcome you back. Thank you for staying with us this morning. This is Newspaper Headlines and Analysis. I'm Uluwayemi Adelakun. And this morning, let's start about the Punch newspaper. We have headlines from the Punch, Nigerian Tribune, New Telegraph, The Guardian, Daily Trust. And of course, I'd love to start from the Punch this morning. And I have the banner headline that says 2027 battle. Kano earthquake as Yusuf dumps opposition for APC. And that headline asks us writers, it says NNPP senator attacks federal government over Kano governor's defection. PDP ADC orders slam move as moral collapse, not political gain. Over this matter, I think a lot of politicians at loggerheads to say, why should Yusuf defect to the APC when he won the election under NNPP? And of course, I read a story this morning that is talking about the deputy governor. Currently is in a fix now that his governor has moved to the APC. Whether he's going to move with him or not, we really cannot tell, because officially the governor is set to move to the APC this morning. But then the news is everywhere that he's moving, and of course, that has been resolved before now. And of course, the governor did something very interesting and commendable to say that people should not insult Kwakanso or even the NNPP as a political party because he defected to the APC. And I think that's a very good one coming from the governor. I believe we are going to see more defections in the next few months against the next general elections. And away from that, I also have this headline that says U.S. export to Nigeria jumped 60% amid Trump tariff. Speaking of tariff now, I've been seeing certain headlines, several headlines, in the last few days about tariff. There was one time that we read a particular headline where Trump, slammed Canada with 100% tariff because, they're trying to interfere and they're not doing what he wants them to do. And recently we also heard that, that tariff has been, taken away, is no longer, in check. So these are the issues. Now with Nigeria, I think is a very peculiar one, and we must be careful as a nation. Yes, we are looking forward to building this relationship with the United States. By the end of the day, we must be careful of what we do with that particular nation. Away from that headline, I also have this one that says Minority caucus has clash over tax law probe. I want to bet it with you, apart from this minority caucus, even Nigerians, a lot of persons do not really understand, everything about this tax. Speaking of tax, I think over the weekend, I watched a video where the governor of your state, that's Governor Makinde, mentioned something about the tax law. He said there was a time that they were calling for it to be brought back so they can look at it very well. But then he said it was passed, and then even some members of the National Assembly do not know what it entails. And then these are the issues that we have in our hands. Away from that headline, I also have a one that says suspected kidnappers kill police inspector during rescue operation in Oyo. A very sad one, because we spoke about a particular attack in Oyo some weeks back, talking about the old national park, and then this one, it led to the death of one officer, which is really sad, honestly. Away from that headline, I also have this one that says Tinubu shelling high-level talks over $20 billion Nigeria investment. I want to believe that that is still ongoing. Speaking of that investment, let's cross over to the Guardian newspaper this morning. I have the banner headline that says decades of trade deals failed to win Nigeria off crude oil dependence. That's a very deep one. When are we going to be independent when it comes to the this crude oil, because at the end of the day we have the oil, but then it appears that we are still suffering from a lot of things. Do not forget that ever since the price of fuel gone up from around 280, 270 to around 500. I mean, ever since then it keeps going up, and recently I think we are around 8 something. Nigerians are looking forward to a time when the price will come down a little bit, because that will mean a lot, I mean, for Nigerians. Don't forget that even some politicians, some members of the APC came out recently to say that the price of food is coming down and Nigerians are happy. We want it to come down further, honestly. Away from that headline, I have this one that says, Yusuf rejoins APC, flags of party's e-registration. I think Yusuf is not slowing down at all. He is already a member of the party to become a member of the party officially today, and of course he has decided to flag off the e-registration. Away from that, I also have this headline that says that you can't speak truth to power. On the Tinubu, says Makinde. I mentioned a video I watched over the weekend, and I think the governor of your state, Makinde, was present at the birthday party of the former vice president of this country, that's Yemi Osinbajo, and that was where he made the statement. He said quite a number of things, and then he mentioned that let me put it this way. He said, I miss you, because ever since you left, it has never been the same. I miss you as vice president of this country. I think that was what he said. And he also mentioned something that, 7 months into his first term as governor of this state, that's around 2020, he said there was COVID in the nation, and then several meetings, and then someone suggested that every governor should go back to their state and lock up their state. He now said that the reason why he didn't lock up your state is because of Yemi Osinbajo. And then he gave him a lot of compliment to say, we miss you. I personally miss you as a vice president. And he also mentioned something that, in this administration, it is difficult to speak truth to power, because a lot of persons are waiting for you, to say certain things so that they can, twist it in a way. And then he also mentioned the fact that that was when he was talking about the tax bill, that it was passed without due process. A lot of people, a lot of governors do not understand the tax bill. So I think that's why he came out to say that, okay, it is difficult to speak truth to power in this administration because of certain things. And of course, when he was saying all of that, the former vice president just sat there and was just smiling. And of course, I know that it will make it to the headlines for this particular morning. So away from that particular headline, still reading from the Guardian newspaper, let's check another one that says Nigeria's democracy excludes many citizens from justice and governance, which is not supposed to be. That's why sometimes I get tired of this common definition of democracy: government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And then we're seeing cases whereby a lot of persons feel left out of that so-called democracy. So then how do we balance it? Away from the military incursion, democracy came back, and still a lot of Nigerians are, suffering from this old democracy, because they're unable to get due justice or even live properly as citizens of this country. I think is a very sad one. At the end of the day, maybe this so-called democracy should be reviewed. And away from that headline, I also have this one that says rep split over tax laws as leadership minority caucus clash. Ed of plenary. This is not the first time that we're saying something like this. We do hope that they can resolve it as soon as possible. I have another headline that says tension in Anambra as government bans Monday a seat at home. Speaking of that, I used to have a friend who served in Anambra at a time, I think around 2022, and then she mentioned to me that Monday is a very serious day. You sit in your house regardless of where you work. You're not expected to go outside, and now that the government wants to ban it, I think it might cause me some reactions from a lot of persons. But at the end of the day, I want to believe that what is best for the people will be done, because at the end of the day, it's about the people, regardless of anything or any other thing that might come up. The people, I think, are the most important, individuals in all of this. Away from that, I also have this headline that says that Shell, where we are investing $20 billion in Nigeria. That's a lot of money. And I think at this point, Nigeria, is in need of that money. We have a lot of things, coming up. We have state elections this year. Next year, we have the presidential election. Apart from that, we need to deal with certain things, the education sector, insecurity. And I think I read a particular headline where someone was saying that, okay, let's put a stop to this security vote, because we are really not seeing the effect of the morning, speaking about insecurity in this country. It's time to cross over to Daily Trust this morning. I have a headline that says alleged coup, military answer report to Tinubu. Don't forget, I think about a few days ago, I read a particular headline where the wives of some officers, some military men who were, kept in a certain place because of this old coup discussion. So they were crying for help to say that their husbands are not feeling well in the prison. They've been arrested ever since we heard about the coup plot and things like that. I want to believe that this administration will look into that and of course get to the bottom of this matter, because at some point the military came out to debunk that particular story to say, okay, it's a rumor, there was no coup attempt. And of course I want to believe that away from this, we'll not hear something like this again, because regardless anything that is going on in this country, Nigeria, we do not want another military incursion. Away from that headline, I also have this one that says 2027 dropping Shatima risky for APC. That's coming from Musawa. That's the current Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. She had an interview with a popular broadcaster in this country, and she said quite a number of things. And then she mentioned that leaving out Shatima for the 2027 ticket of the APC might not work well. As a matter of fact, she thinks it might sabotage the chances of APC. Before now, especially throughout last year, there were rumors here and there to say that Tinubu might actually drop Shetima for the next election. And then there was even a time that it caused tension, in some northern state, when APC gathered, Ganduji, likes of Ganduji were present, and other core members of the APC. The meeting was scattered, people started throwing all sorts of things to harm each other. The meeting didn't end well, in a nutshell. So away from that, I also want to believe that the APC as a political party, they have the president, the ruling president, and of course, just like we would say a lot of times, he has been in politics for many years. He knows what is best for him against the next election. So it's up to him, it's up to the party to decide whether Shetima will not run with Tinubu in the next election or not. But then it's something to talk about when a member of the APC is coming out to say this and not someone from the other political parties. Maybe we might need to look at it, more critically. Away from that headline, I also have this one that says troops arrest 65-year-old woman supplying drugs to Boko Haram. I saw the picture online yesterday, and it's not really a good one. A 65-year-old woman supplying drugs to Boko Haram in a country whereby we are still trying to look for ways to suppress all of these things, and then we have people who are still supplying drugs. Apart from I want to believe there are other persons, who are in this business. So these are the issues. So when some persons are trying to lift it up, others are trying to, bring it down. These are the issues. And then you might want to talk about, maybe she's doing this because of weaponized poverty. They need to feed her family. They need to make ends meet and all of those. Yeah, those are excuses. But at the end of the day, we want this country to be safe for each and every one of us. So when you say something, say something. Away from that headline, let's also check this one that is saying, Kaduna abduction, 166 still in captivity 1 week later. I've been trying to follow this particular story, and of course, I read a particular headline yesterday talking about the fact that can try to organize a prayer session for the abductees to ensure their safe return. 166 of them, and apart from that, there's a new abduction. About 6 other persons were also abducted recently after this 166. These are the issues, in the same state. So there's one thing that I've been able to notice about this whole abduction. Once, certain people are adopted in a particular area or state, if care is not taken, we might see other cases after that particular one. Don't forget, after the Niger case, we saw a lot of other abductions in that particular state. So at the end of the day, we need to be very intentional about putting a stop to all of this. And of course, there's this issue of denial, because there was a time that the security operators said, there was no abduction, nothing of that sort, and later it became difficult for it to be denied. It became obvious to the people, to the Nigeria as a country, that indeed over 100 persons were abducted. This is really sad, honestly, and I want to believe that soon enough they are going to return safely to their families. Away from that headline, I also have this one that says Our snake killed teacher at dilapidated FCT school. That's a very sad one, because speaking about all these buildings that people have not been using for a while, anything can happen. And I just want to hope that, this person will be treated, the best way. And of course, the life will be saved. And we do not want cases like this anymore. Away from that, house of this one that says impeachment plot. NAS urged to take over Rivers Assembly duties. A lot of persons predicted that it might get to this point, especially when the Speaker of the House, was hell-bent to say, okay, we are going to follow this matter. If he wants us to resign, we are going to resign, because we cannot be working and see all of these irregularities and, of course, kept short about the matter. We are not going to keep mum about this matter. But don't forget that the judge, speaking of the judge, Amadi, refused to set up a 7-man panel to look into this matter. And because of that, the impeachment process cannot continue, because according to the law, if after the assembly decides to sit over this matter and then they are able to gather two-thirds majority, about 27 lawmakers, to continue, and then they are able to write, to the judge to set up a panel. But then they are able to get two-thirds majority. At the end of the day, the judge is saying, I cannot set up this 7-man panel to look into this. So these are the issues that we have in our hands. And of course, Fubara himself has been really calm about all of these things. And then he said recently that, God is in control over Rivers State. And he also said that I am still the governor of Rivers State, regardless, of everything that is happening in the state. Away from that headline, I also have this one that says, Kano governor's defection puts a deputy on the spot. I think that's very profound. Just like I mentioned initially, that now that the governor has defected to the APC, what is he going to do as the deputy governor? Because this is not the first time that we see issues whereby the governor would defect to another party and the deputy will say, okay, that's your choice. I want to stay back in this political party. We have also seen cases where the deputy will also follow to say, wherever you go, we'll follow you. We've seen cases like that, but whether he's going to leave to the other party, we really cannot tell at this point in time. So it's up to him to decide if he wants to defect or not. Let's cross over to the Nation newspaper this morning. I have this headline that says, how Lagos is battling widespread refuse mess. I think this has been coming up several times. We really need to look into it at this point in time. What is really going on, in Lagos State? Recently, a very popular streamer came to Nigeria, and then he visited Lagos, and then I think there were complaints here and there about, certain smell or something around that. I think it's something that should be looked into properly. And away from that line, I also have this one that says, Kano Governor Yusuf picks APC card today. Ruling party receives Governor Mutuangen just tomorrow. Another headline is saying Tinubu for Turkey to deepen partnership. Don't forget that last week we were talking about ambassadors being selected for certain countries, 4 major countries actually. Talk about France, talk about UK, and also talk about the United States as well, and Turkey. And of course, in that story, we are able to read that the president will be traveling to Turkey soon, just to familiarize, and to build, the relationship that we really need that can help Nigeria as a country. Now the president, is set to do that, and then we hope and then we wish that he's going to be able to get all that he needs and, of course, build that relationship that can help Nigeria as a country. And away from that headline, House of this one that says that tax laws, House of Reps reject Minority Caucus report. Fireworks likely as lawmakers return from recess. I think I spoke about that already, speaking about the tax laws, that a lot of things, needs to be clarified on that in a particular one, because a lot of persons feel it was rushed in a way. The governors were not properly briefed, even the lawmakers, a lot of them do not really know what it entails, and then that's why we're seeing all of these issues. And then away from those persons, what about the commoners, the Nigerians, especially those who are not learned? Because it's not everyone that can actually pick up their phone to read up about this tax law. There was a time that Nigerians were so confused, especially during the last festive period, that's December. A lot of persons were saying, oh, before you send money to me, add gifts, add this, add school fee, add this and that. So it was a bit intense for a lot of Nigerians because they really do not understand how this tax law is going to work. And so it's an issue. And of course, at this point in time, it appears that even the people in charge, I don't want to say they're a bit confused, but it's overwhelming for them. So if it's overwhelming for them, how about Nigerians? And I think this is where we are not looking at as a nation. So away from that, I also have this headline that says, State got 6.73 trillion naira from Federation account in 11 months. Revenue surged by 29.08%. Delta, Rivers, Lagos on top of the table. That's a lot of money. 6.7 trillion naira from Federation account. And then the state have been able to get that amount of money. I think there was a time that the president said that hold your governors accountable, because according to him, when it comes to what they are getting, it really cannot be compared to what they were getting, in the last administration, say 2015, 2019. They are getting a lot now. So the president came out to say that, and they mentioned that hold your governors accountable because they have all that they need, to cater for you. Talk about education, talk about agriculture, talk about health, and of course other things. So it's a huge money, a huge amount of money, 6.7 trillion naira from Federation account in just 11 months. I think it's time that you begin to question your state governors to ensure that they are doing the right thing with the money that they are receiving from the Federation account. Of course, let's cross over to New Telegraph this morning, and that's the final paper for this morning. I have this headline that says, high operational cost, airlines mold for the fare hikes, lament revenue loss, almost empty flight. And that's quite sad. Why we are flying at a loss by Okonko. Speaking about the airlines, I think there have been several complaints, here and there to say that, okay, we are not really making profit. And then at the same time, Nigerians are complaining about the hike in the price. They're saying, why should you be spending thousands of naira just to move from one state to the other state? So it's a big issue because the airlines are complaining about not making profit, and Nigerians are complaining about the price, about what they are paying to fly from, say, Lagos to Abuja, or say Ibadan, or say Lagos to Abuja, especially even from a northern state to a southeast state. It's a big problem, and it's something that we need to look at. Why is it that even after increasing the price, they are still running a huge loss? It's a problem. We need to trace it back to the root, because we are not supposed to just nip it in the bud and forget about it. What is really causing all of this, I think, is one thing that we need to look at. Another headline this morning is saying, Makinde, you can't speak truth to power under this government. I think I discussed that already. Another airline is saying 2027 mind game ends as battle for ADC ticket begins. And I have the rider that says high stakes as Atiku, Obi, Amechi, Wajiba declare intention. I mentioned it earlier that if care is not taken, something dire might actually happen to the coalition party. That's the ADC. If they fail to learn from the past, learn from history, because every time I always mention it that history does not repeat itself. But when people fail to learn from history, they are doomed to repeat history. So if the big shots in ADC cannot learn from what has led to, I don't want to call it, led to the disruption in the PDP as we speak now, whatsoever it is that happened in 2022 against the 2023 general election, if they cannot learn from that, if care is not taken, they might repeat the mistakes of the general election of 2023. So it's up to those big shot in the party who are interested in contesting for the general elections, and then to decide who should step down for who, because at the end of the day we just need two persons from that political party, the president and of course the vice president. And I want to believe that due to the population, just like we mentioned this morning when we were talking about the Daybreak cheese, that a certain senator, a certain minister in this country, there's Anatu, the Minister of Arts and Culture, mentioned that the ADC is too crowded, and this might be the bane of the party if care is not taken. But I really do not want to agree with that, because a lot of economists, say for instance the likes of Malthusian theory, if you read that theory very well, it talks about population, and a lot of other philosophers and writers came out to say, okay, you really cannot say this. Population can be a blessing rather than the curse. So the population or the crowd in the ADC that we have currently can be a blessing if they are able to channel it well, and of course get some persons to step down for the order to ensure that they appeal to Nigerians. At the end of the day, it depends on the electorate to elect whoever it is that they prefer for the election. I think it's a fine place to leave it this morning. Let me begin to appreciate you for staying tuned for this particular segment. It's time to take a short break, and when we come back, we move on to the big story. It is still Daybreak Live on Dominion Television, Ibadan. My name is Oluwayemi Adelakun. Thank you for being a part of this session. Please stay with us.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram @Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominioncast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice. Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Cast. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Live from the heart of the action. Welcome to the nerve center of Next Level Broadcasting.
This is the OB van, where the studio meets the street.
Equipped with cutting-edge cameras, crystal clear audio, real-time switching, and broadcast control, we don't just capture moments, we deliver the experience live.
Anywhere, anytime, from stadiums to red carpets, breaking news to buzzing festivals, weddings, birthdays, and all sorts of ceremonies. We bring the world to your screen in real time.
It's not just a van, it's a complete mobile production house, a command center, a broadcast beast.
This is more than a broadcast. This is the OB van difference. Live, loud, limitless.
Ready to go live? Like never before. Book the OB van today and take your event to the world. One powerful broadcast at a time.
To book, call 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Email marketing@dominion.org.ng or visit our socials on Instagram at Dominion Broadcast.
Dominion Broadcast, your channel of choice.
Need a professional space to bring your vision to life? Dominion Television Studios offers state-of-the-art facilities perfect for your next broadcast, commercial, corporate video, or live event. With flexible rental options, cutting-edge equipment, and a supportive team, we provide the perfect environment for high-quality productions. Unleash your creativity. For bookings, email us at marketing@dominion.org.ng. Call us on 0705 506 1061 or 0916 101 1061. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Dominion Broadcast and on X at Dominion Casts. Book your space today. Dominion Television, your channel of choice.
Good morning and welcome to The Big Story on Daybreak Live. This is the space where we go beyond the headline to unpack the politics, the power plays, and the personalities shaping Nigeria's democracy. Today, we shift our focus to a question that is already stirring conversations across party lines and political camps ahead of 2027. The Shettima factor. How crucial is the vice presidential slot to the APC's chances? Is the VP position merely a constitutional requirement, or is it a strategic political weapon capable of swinging millions of votes, redefining regional loyalty, and reshaping the balance of power within the ruling party? And to help us navigate this crucial national conversation, we are joined by APC chieftain, political analyst, and public affairs commentator, Honorable Omolaja Olaoye. Now, let's get straight into it to have an idea of what we are trying to look at this morning. The vice presidential slot has often been described as ceremonial, but Nigeria's recent political history tells a different story, one where geography, influence, and political machinery can make or break an electoral victory. In 2023 presidential election, the APC's choice of Senator Kashim Shettima, a former governor of Borno State and a key political figure in the Northeast, was widely seen as a strategic move to consolidate the party's grip on region. According to official INEC tallies, the APC secured over 2 million votes across the Northeast, winning key states like Borno and Yobe, and maintaining a strong showing in the zone despite stiff competition from the PDP. That regional performance formed a critical pillar of President Bola Tinubu's national victory. On the other hand, the new Nigeria's People's Party, NNPP, demonstrated the raw power of regional political dominance through Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, whose influence in the Northwest, particularly in Kano, delivered the party well over 1 million votes in a single state alone, making Kano one of the most politically decisive battlegrounds in the entire election. These figures underscore a central political reality. The vice presidential choice is not just about balance. It is about electoral mathematics. Now, as conversations shift towards 2027, fresh names are entering the political arena. Among them is Yakubu Dogara, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, whose political base is the Northeast. And national legislative profile have led to, in some quarters, to be floating his name around as a potential factor in future APC. So, the big question today before us is clear and compelling. Does the APC double down on Shettima's Northeast political capital, or does it recalibrate its strategy to counter emerging regional power blocks like Kwakwaso's stronghold in the Northwest? These are more we thought discuss on this show this morning. Honorable Omolaja Olaoye, good to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me here, Samson. And good morning to you, viewer home. And we are very grateful for you watching us and listening to us as well.
So, the big question is the vice presidential slot still ceremonial in Nigeria?
I wouldn't say that, not even in the word itself, because when you become a vice president, you have a lot of influence, and you have a lot of things. You have responsibility according to the constitution, what you can be able to do, and not like a deputy governor. Your role is well spelled out in the constitution, and it's not very ambiguous. It's there for you to see. So I wouldn't say it's ceremonial, because they have a lot of roles to play in democracy of Nigeria.
So, in a nutshell, how powerful is the VP slot to a candidate as we speak with the current political ecosystem in Nigeria?
It's just a way to calculate how you are going to have your political stronghold, or how you are going to be able to win an election. When you are talking about 1979, when you know about that Shehu Shagari, because in order to pacify Southeast, they have to choose the vice president from the Southeast. Then Alex Ekweme, who becomes the vice president, because it is after the war and the civil war, and they need to pacify them. That is why they have to choose from Southeast. So, and we have seen what follows after. We have seen that when it's come to the time of Obasanjo, they try to choose from probably, I think, North Central, I think, because Atiku Abubakar, he has already won the governorship, and it takes, and mind you, not because of the vote alone, but because of, probably political calculation. Atiku Abubakar was the leader of, what's it called, this very strong, is a chief of staff when he was there, who is very prominent. So they have to choose Atiku Abubakar because he led that, that house then, political house then. Musa Yaradua. So now, when President Ahmed Bola Tinubu chose Shettima then, there's a lot of hola. People are saying, why does it have to be a Muslim ticket? But we must look at the dynamism of, we have to think about religion as well, because President Ahmed Tinubu came from the minority. It's not that minority, it came from Southwest. And we need how they can be able to appeal to the North.
So if you are talking about religion, does the APC now see the wrong in the Muslim ticket in the first place?
No, what we are now saying is speculation. It has never been said. Later we knew that even Kwankwaso is seeking from the vice president's slot, because he wants his resume to be uplifted. He knew that by the time he become a vice president, he would have got a lot of influence in order to be able to become a president.
Is the APC trying to change Shettima?
It was speculation, because the buck lies in the presidential table. He was one that chose Shettima in the first place, and he believed in the man, and he won election. So now he is stronghold. He is capable now. Then how many governors does APC have? Now we are having about 30 state governors who can be able to wield a lot of influence when we are talking about the next election we are going to have.
Shettima's influence in the last election, was it symbolic, and how much of an influence will that have on the APC if they fail to field him with President Bola?
Being a Muslim alone, the president is going to be able to choose who he think is trusted. And I believe they have a lot of candidates who really want to be identified or to be chosen as vice president. For Shettima to be chosen, that means the president believes in him. And
so did the APC further weaponize religion in Nigeria by choosing the Muslim?
It is not APC that
for the sake of winning an election.
It is not APC that weaponized religion, because there was Ola. People are saying that he's not going to win an election.
But you went ahead.
Yes,
as a political party.
Yes, because that is what the
Did you create further problem across religious lines in the country?
It is not
as an APC member.
No. What as people, when they have been choosing Christian or Muslim, or Christian be a president, Muslim be a vice president, what has it done in Nigeria from time? But the man, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, believe that is what he says. He said his household, even if he's going to be, is not somebody that is bigot or religion bigot. He said even in his house, if they have to cast the vote, all his children are Christian. His wife is leading a church. Why do they have to be playing that card? But this is politics. They are going to be playing it. Bola Ahmed Tinubu can be known as Muslim by name. So why do they have to be playing that card? And when you are talking about Shettima household is fully Muslim. So when you see somebody that I mean, he is so dynamic in nature, and his belief in religion is not going to be impaired in his decision as a president. But people like to whip the religious sentiment, and they are doing that in order to, I mean, paint him black. And I don't think he listened to them.
Okay, your party set a precedence, the Muslim ticket. Going down.
It wasn't the one. It was set by Abiola.
Going down the other line. Abiola did not win an election, according to the Nigerian Constitution.
Yeah, he won the election. That is why he won.
Was he declared winner by
He might not, but we all knew that it's illegal.
Was he declared by the electoral body?
It wasn't declared.
The answer is he never won an election.
Okay, go on.
Okay, moving on. Your party has set
a Muslim ticket, we know it was cancelled. According to the election, he won fairly, but it was cancelled.
That was according to you. You think he won the election. But according to the electoral body, he never won an election.
Okay, go on.
Are we good on that?
I won't accept it.
Okay, you might not accept it, but that is what is on paper. You can go ahead and read by yourself, but definitely Abiola never won the presidential election according to the electoral body. So if you have another opinion, just like he also had that opinion and declared himself winner, that's for a different day. We'll have that conversation. But then,
it's true, George.
Let's talk about the chances. Governor Abba Yusuf of the APC, of the NNPP, is moving to the APC today, being Monday. In fact, by now, all plans are concluded. It might be announced anytime soon to be a member of the APC. His godfather, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, is still in the NNPP. Yesterday, a lot of people moved to his house and asked questions about where are we going. But the question is, even if Kwankwaso did not move to the APC, does the APC have what it takes to break Kwankwaso's stronghold in the Northwest?
Oh, thank you very much. When you are saying this, yes, the last election, 2023, was polarized. We all knew that a lot of divisioners are there. But at the end of the day, we won the election. That is what's important. And again, a lot of Kwankwaso who have won that election through their godfather, I would say 90% of them are now in APC. You won't say that they don't know what they are doing. They have done the political calculation, and they knew what happened in 2003.
Is the president trying to use Abba Yusuf to polarize Kano State and get a fair share of the vote?
Why would you say that? It is a choice of Abba Yusuf to come to APC.
Maybe Kwankwaso wants something that the president might not be able to give him. So
exactly.
He wants to take a sitting governor. So get me a fair share of the votes, and then we render his influence a little bit weak.
When Abba Yusuf won that Supreme Court judgment, he lost in appeal. You must remember that. Because they made us to realize that where he has his back vote, they don't comply with electoral act. They don't comply with how election must be held. And it was cancelled in the appeal. He knew he was just there because of luck. At the end of the day, how Kwankwaso cannot decide what is going to happen in 2023 and 27, because now he won just by little margin. For him to have won by little margin, Abba Yusuf might have known that anytime there is an election, they're still going to be neck to neck.
Are you saying Abba Yusuf is a Supreme Court governor? He was made governor by the Supreme Court.
And there is nothing wrong. It is, you have to go through election. He went through election, and he has passed a certain age. It is not that you are going to talk about when it comes to Ugbea and Amechi, because Amechi's name has never been in the ballot. It was only the party that was in the ballot. So you can say that one won by Supreme Court, but in any other governor. But you cannot talk about that Abba Yusuf. But Abba Yusuf know that he narrowly won that election, and APC still have influence.
Will a controversial VP slot create internal fractures within the APC?
Have you ever seen any party that don't have a kind of crisis?
Will your party be able to manage it?
We are managing it. We knew what is on the ground. Anything they want to do is just a political calculation. And I am telling you, APC knew he is not that strong in Southeast. And we have seen a lot of Southeast governors that have been supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu right now. Hardly will you see any of them that is not supporting President Tinubu.
Some say the unity, packing all the governors in your political party, the unity of your party is hanging by a thread. Is that true?
We are good with what we have. Let any other party that has what we have comes out. But when we are good with what we have, when we can be able to manage the crisis we are now having in APC, I think that is enough.
What is the president promising the governors to make them dump their parties to join your parties?
It is being boldly written in Constitution. It is there. You have the right to associate with whoever you want at any point in time. The freedom of association is embedded in the Constitution, and we must follow it. Abba Yusuf even begged to be in APC. So many other governors. Plateau State governor begged to be in APC. So many other governors. Because they knew the trend. They know the trend where he's going. A lot of them knew that they won the election just by law. And they want certainty. Nobody wants to depend on certainty. Even when you are talking about the PDP, all of them have been linking to one party or the other. You saw what happened in the Osun State APC. Osun State political system, whereby the governor Adeleke begged to be in APC. But those people who are there rejected him. He begged. He knew he doesn't have any hope. Now, you have seen who a lot of people who are in PDP, who push people out or PDP to be in APC, they are still begging to be in this ADC again. That is for you to know the calculation of political calculation. It is dynamic. It is not static. It is revolving around all the time. Anything can happen.
Some have insinuated that elections in Nigeria have been decided by geography and not ideology. Are you of the same school of thought?
Ideology? Not all the time.
Is it about region or about what you can offer the people?
How do you know what you can offer the people? Do the people know what they want sometimes? Because it is well spelled that, I mean, I've forgotten these the doing of a democracy. I think I will still remember it. It says sometimes democracy is the best might not be chosen by election. We choose our candidates sometimes by sentiment. We choose it by religion. With any form, we choose it the way. We might not be able to choose the best, but for now, it seems to be the best. Before people can be migrate from monarchical system to republic, it takes a lot of time. It takes blood. There was blood that split, revolutions, because people say they want to choose who they want at any point in time. So now, for now, democracy is still the best, and we are having the best to choose our leaders.
Okay, do you think Nigerian voters are influenced by ticket balance rather than policies, manifestos?
Exactly, we are.
How do
we talk about, that is why we talk about religion. We talk about our ethnic group. Probably you are Yoruba, you are Igbo, you are Hausa, is there. A lot of sentiments are there when an election is going to be held. That is why any politician would try as much as possible to balance the equation. If you balance the equation, your vote is going to be high. But if you don't balance it, you are going to find yourself.
So are politicians capitalizing on the fact that Nigerians believe in ticket balance?
That is, politics is everywhere. Even in your place of work. They might say you are a Yoruba man. Probably you are from Ijebu, you are from this, you are from that. People use sentiment to choose a lot of things. It is there in any walk of life, whether in the church, whether in the mosque. Everyone does that, and we are used with it. You are talking about developers as well. Developed world. You are talking about the Scottish, the Welsh, the British people, how they do all this English, how they do all this sentiment. There's sentiment there. When you get to United States of America, the same. You have seen how Trump won an election. He's so religious to the people, and he's not the kind of person that is that religious or go to church all the time. But he's so religious to them, and they are debated, and that's it. They do.
Honorable Molaji Olaoye, just before we go on this segment of the show this morning, I want to ask you this question. Do you think that the APC will be able to sustain this current growth in the party? Is the party swelling or growing?
The party is growing. It's not swelling. It's growing accordingly. Now, what a lot of parties cannot be able to do, APC have been doing it since the inception of this of the birth of APC. You are talking about party registration. How many times have you seen PDP or the ADC doing party registration just to know the numbers of their members? APC are now doing that, and it has been done online. in which somebody like you can go and be able to register. And for you to know that we can be able to sustain any problem that we are having now, because we are growing every day. We are not swelling. When you are talking about waist swelling, you are talking about probably you are being infected with the kind of bacteria. But no, we are growing accordingly.
All right, Honorable Omalaje Olaye, thank you for joining me on this segment of the show this morning. We are still going to have a lengthy discussion about if Abiola actually won an election in Nigeria or not.
He won.
It's a discussion for another day. Thank you for joining me on this show.
Thank you very much.
Now, the big story continues, but we'll go on a short break. When we return, stay with us. All right, welcome back. The show is still Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television, and this segment is The Big Story. And I'm joined in the studio this morning, Egbeleke Ademola Demo Pumping. He's the convener, the MIC conference, which is happening in the city of Ibadan shortly. And we'll be making sense of what MCs do face and what the MIC conference is all about. Egbeleke Ademola, good to have you in the studio.
Thank you very much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here this morning.
Interestingly, as an MC too, I must ask you a lot of questions on this show this morning. But then, when they talk about Egbeleke, who is Egbeleke Ademola?
Okay, Egbeleke Ademola is a internationally sought after MC. I've been doing the event hosting business for over a decade. I'm currently based in the UK, but I started off majorly in Ibadan, from the University of Ibadan, because I studied in the University of Ibadan. So I started off event hosting, public speaking. I was a debater in school, an orator. So I learned the rudiments of public speaking, and then I went on to become, an event host. So I started doing gigs around town, and then after like a while, I felt like the next move, and then I relocated to the UK. And I've been in the UK for about more than 3 years now, and I've also, gone on to become a sought after MC. So that's like me in summary, because of time.
Okay. So basically, when it all started, how did it feel like? Was there a shaky start to the career, and how did you navigate?
Oh, so definitely, I mean, for anything that you're going to start in life, anything, it will always be shaky. Nobody starts grown, nobody starts big. You grow. That's why they say don't despise humble beginnings. Yeah. So when I started, obviously, I started with birthdays, dinners, freshers welcome in school, and obviously, you know, you go to some and people will just be looking at you like, who is this person? But it's part of the experience. It's how you own the art, how you become better at what you do. So yes, definitely there were shaky experiences. In fact, I remember there were some events that I went to, and you know, I was, even myself was like, what am I doing here? You know, but over time, obviously experience, I've been able to learn and become like a master, which is what we do, master of ceremony.
Now, that brings us to this question. Who is an MC?
So a master of ceremony is anyone that can host an event depending on whatever the event is. So which is one of the reasons why we are doing this, because it's become like a trend now for people to now be streamlining who an MC is. You know, to say, oh, I'm an MC, I can only host weddings. Okay. I'm an MC, I can only do... If you are a grounded professional master of ceremony, I feel that
whatever you find yourself,
yes, whatever the event, you should be able to host it. That's the master of ceremony. Somebody who can manage an event from beginning to the end, understand the brief, understand the client, coordinate the whole event, make sure that everything goes each free from beginning to the end. That's a master of ceremony.
And there's a very big question, which I know you are definitely going to address in this conference, is what the client expects, which is a very big one. A client wants an MC, a comedian. They want about 3 or 4 things in one person.
Yes.
And you want to pay for one.
Yes.
So how do you get to do all of that?
So it begs the question, what do you bring to the table as an MC? Are you doing the job because you just want to survive, or you understand the job? Because for me, if you message me, for example, and say, oh, I want to, you know, get you for my event, I'll ask you what services you need. And I'll let you know the services that I can offer. Some people can MC an event, crack jokes, and do hype. That's fine if you can do all that comfortably. If you can't, it shouldn't be any issue to say, oh, I can only MC, I don't crack jokes, or I don't do hype. It shouldn't be that hard. If the person feels that you are the person for the job, you fit into what they are looking for, they'll still hire you. If they don't, let them go and get the MC, comedian, hype man. You know, don't force yourself because of the money to say I can do it, and then get to the job and mess it up.
Okay, now this is another very big question before we go to the mic conference itself. Yeah. Now you get to an event. Sometimes even the planners are not coordinated, and brings the pressure to an MC. Yes. I was at an event and then there was a crisis. Okay. I had to talk for 2 hours because they were not ready. Yeah. The artist was not ready, so it was just me to engage the people. Yes, I didn't find it as you know, something serious because I could do it. But then, what if an MC gets to an event and such thing happens? How does it navigate through that when it knows that I do not have the capacity to go on for 2 hours and talk to the people?
Yeah, so exactly what you have said, capacity. You understand? So if you're an MC, you should at least be ready for any situation. That's one of the things that, you know, and it doesn't come with just thinking that I can do it. It comes with experience. Building. It comes with training. It comes with building. It comes with, you know, rehearsing. Mentorship. People think that, you know, you don't rehearse being an MC. It comes with mentorship as well. You follow people that know the job to events. You watch, you understand, because every event might be the same name, but it comes with different things. So you can host 3 weddings. It's a wedding. Everything is a wedding, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same people, it's not the same guests, audience analysis come into play, you know. So a lot of things come into play as an MC. If you don't build capacity, you cannot do what you did. If you didn't build capacity, you can't. So for any MC who wants to grow in the business, you need to understand that you have to build capacity. Very important. If you can't do it, just don't bother.
Okay. Very quickly, the mic conference comes up shortly, but then we usually have some clients who know too much or who think they know too much.
Yes.
So how do you, as an MC, how do you deal with, I don't want to use over-sabi clients, or maybe some friends of the clients who think they know too much. They are usually in your ears whispering.
Yeah. Yes.
How do you address that?
So I feel like personally, you have to be disciplined as an MC, be firm. You know, let people understand when they are encroaching in your own space. You understand? So you don't have to be disrespectful. but let them understand, oh, somebody comes to you and they were not the one that paid you, they are not the event planner, they are not the client themselves. You can just say, please, let me do my job. If you need anything from me, speak to the event planner or speak to the client, let them talk to me, and then we'll see how to make it happen.
Also, the rivalry between artists, DJs,
live
MCs,
band.
it's a very big one out
Yes,
there.
yes.
A few weeks ago, I wrote an open letter to artists. We are not your competition.
Yes.
I've not been to an event to be sprayed. But then, let me do my job. But
Exactly.
some of them still do not understand the fact that an MC has come to help an artist.
Yes. We make everything seamless at an event. The way I introduce you would even determine how people will receive you.
Right.
You know, it should be a collaboration, like you said, not a competition. But one thing that I think is a problem is professionalism. If you're a professional artist, you're a professional live band, and I'm a professional MC, you should understand that there's timing to everything. You have your time to perform as an artist. I have my time to perform and to host the whole event, to coordinate it. So you need to understand that if I'm telling you to stop, I'm working with time. I'm not trying to, not let you do your job. So please, don't try to not let me do my job. It's that simple.
All right, let's talk about the MIC conference.
Thank you.
Bridging experience and emerging talents. A capacity building workshop for events, MC, and comedians. Yes, I see why you had to put a slash.
Yes.
Because it's confusing now.
Very true.
Someone becomes a skit maker and all of a sudden he's already an MC.
Yes.
Someone does this and because he's an actor, he's already an MC.
Yes.
So the difference and what are you bringing to the table at this particular event? There are a lot of speakers here. We have Mr. Rain, Ojubaro Babatunde, Dr. Freak, Caxton Martins, a lot of people here. And the panelists, Rotimi Ige, Folakemi Mighty, Rapping Daddy, Edwin Paul, King Shoga, Honorable Shete, Ronkegiwa Onofo, that's my GM.
Yes.
Prof. Apple, Rotimi Johnson, Oladayo, Ogumbawale, a lot of big names here, big fishes in the Ibadan. So how did you manage to put all of these names on this flyer?
So the MIC conference came as a result of some findings that I did after I moved out of the event space in Ibadan and I relocated. So I keep in touch with a lot of people, and at times people still reach out to me to say, refer someone for some kind of job. And when I mention some names, obviously it's a case of, this person is busy. Okay, what about this person? They're like, I don't know this person. I'm not sure about this person. Then when I've gone to this person's page as well, the only thing I find is just weddings. Can this person host a corporate gig? Can this person do like an end of the year? Can this person do a seminar? So it became a situation whereby, which is why I said understanding trends. Everybody is trying to move towards one direction when there's a lot more of events that you can be able to.
More MCs believe more in Owambes.
Do you understand?
There are also other areas of the job.
Do you get? So it's a case of now we need people to understand that you need to be versatile. You need to open your eyes to a lot of things. So when I spoke to all these people, they were like, it's very true. Someone like maybe Caxton Martins or Ronkegiwa, for example, now, she has 2 events. Like somebody has called her and she's booked. And then they are calling her for the same date.
What are you recommending?
Then she's thinking. She's having to think over and over again. So it's not like we don't even have these MCs, but how bankable are they? How confident am I that if I send this person to this event, the person will not mess
well
up?
Represented.
Do you understand? So that's why everybody knows that at this point in time, we need that level of training to go into place so that we can at least have that confidence to say, go and do that event, and we will not have issues. Basically, that's the whole idea. And that's why all of them agreed to be on board.
So when is this event coming up?
Okay, so it's happening tomorrow at Copacabana in Bodija, Ibadan, at 10 o'clock. I'm hoping to start at 10. I'm hoping that everybody who is on the bill to speak, as a panelist and the attendees will be prompt. If they are prompt, 10 o'clock we'll start.
Okay, so who are the people you are expecting at this particular one?
So anybody MC, like I said, one of the videos I made as an ad, I said, let's say you're somebody willing to transition. You want to understand that transition, come.
What the job looks
Yes, if you're already an MC, but you want to learn, relearn, unlearn, because things change every time, come. And if you're somebody who is just boarding and imagine MC, you should be there as well. If you think you know how to speak, you're a good public speaker, but you're not very sure if you can do the job, come.
So, talking about rigidity as an MC, you once spoke about being a straitjacket MC. This is what I do, I don't do something else, and the moment they give you something different to what you know, you mess up. Now, how easy is it to transition from being just one kind of MC to being a multifaceted kind of MC?
It's not easy. So, you can decide to stay in a lane. You can decide that. So it will just mean that whenever other gigs come, you don't do it. For example, I know people who say, "Oh, I'm an MC, but I don't host kids' party. You know, I don't host funerals, burials. I cannot." Do you understand? It's fine if you want to stay in that lane.
Isn't that the simplest of jobs? Funerals.
But that's the thing. Some people feel they cannot do it, so that's fine. Because maybe they might be...
Because there isn't too many things.
Maybe too emotional.
Okay.
So if you feel that, oh, you want to, that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you feel like, oh, you want to be broad, you want to be versatile, what you then need to do is learn. You know, move with people. That's why you need a mentor. But that's the thing. You cannot choose your mentor.
Okay.
Your mentor has to choose you. So you need to start moving to people, have role models, have people who you think have been in that space for the longest, and see how you can move up to them, learn from them, watch them, follow them to events, and that way you can now grow into that person that you want to become and be across board, multifaceted, like you said.
So you talked about registration on this on the flyer.
Yes.
So how do they get to reach you and they register?
So at the moment, registration is closed.
Okay.
Yeah, it closed yesterday. It was supposed to even be 20,000, but what we also did was we made sure that everybody got a ticket free. Yes, so we made a coupon code and everybody attending is attending for free. Because the idea also is that we wanted to place value, that's why you called it 20,000, but we understand that for growing people and for knowledge to be impacted, we need to give people access, easy access. A lot of people are doing trainings and they're putting money at it, and I personally believe that people should pay. But the kind of impact that we are looking, to do, to give, we felt like let's make it free. 20,000 is on there, but let's make it free. So at the moment it's a free event, but registration is compulsory. And we've closed registration yesterday. The event is tomorrow. The only people that can now come without registration are like panelists, event planners, because I invited event planners and event vendors, so that MCs, budding MCs, and even we, the established ones, can hear from their perspective. The way we think that, oh, artists are like a competition, live band, they also have a mindset. Okay, so let's hear from them. Yes, let's hear. So I have like...
Usually some event managers do recommend MCs too.
Yes. What will make you recommend me as an MC? As a live band, I have live band who recommend me. I recommend some live band. Why will I recommend the live band? I worked with a live band at an event this Saturday, and all through the event, every time we say stop, he stopped. It's been a while I worked with someone like that. Every time we say come and sing, he was already. Most of the time, once they are spraying, so you know these things. Right. So that's why I've invited all these people to say, let's learn, let's have a proper conversation so that we can move to the next level in terms of being a professional event host.
So to reach you, how do they reach you?
So there's a number that they can still call and they can message. Obviously, if they want to attend, we can still find a way around it. The number is 09030733971. So they can send a WhatsApp message or give a phone call, and obviously we can see what we can
Once
do.
Again, the location.
Location is at Copacabana, Ibadan, Bodija, at 10 o'clock tomorrow, 27th of January, 2026.
So lastly, before we go, let me just ask you this very quickly.
Okay.
Are you intending to create a pool of MCs in Ibadan and beyond, just for an association purpose?
Okay.
Because I know that event planners have an association.
Yes.
They have a team. Oh, I have a gig, I cannot go, take this person.
Yes. Hopefully, we intend that at the end of the event tomorrow, we can create that kind of forum, like a platform, maybe a WhatsApp group or like an email group or something where people can be in that group. So for the veterans, for the more experienced people, if they need someone, they can pick from that pool. Like you said, we are open, but maybe because of my experience in the UK and all, data protection and all that, it's going to be willing people. We are not going to force anybody, so if you're willing, and obviously maybe from there you can also get like a mentorship and whatnot. That's the whole plan. But it's going to be completely at your own will. Okay. Nobody's going to force you here, but that's the plan.
Well, we do hope to when next you are in Nigeria, we'll bring you back on this show to talk
will you be there as well?
Definitely, I'll be there. Maybe just after the show, we'll have a conversation.
That's
but definitely, I'll be there tomorrow. Thank you for joining us on this show this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Agbeleke Ademola.
Thank
It's
you
been
so
an
much.
amazing moment with you. And I do know that some MCs who are watching right now would know that a lot has been dropped. Wisdom on this show this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, as Nigeria's political chessboard begins to take shape ahead of the next general election, one truth stands out. The vice presidential slot is no longer just a supporting role. It is a strategic cornerstone of electoral success. From regional vote banks to national appeal, from party unity to political negotiations, the Shetima factor raises deeper questions about how power is built, shared, and sustained in Africa's largest democracy. Many thanks to my guest this morning, as we also spoke about MCs and the mic experience coming up, Honorable Mola Jolawi and Agbeleke Ademola on this show. Samson Balogun is my name. And of course, the show continues. We'll be back after this time out. All right, welcome back from that short break. The show is still Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice, where inspiration meets entertainment. Now it's time to draw the curtains on today's edition of the show, and Oluwayemi Adilaku is back in the studio with me. But then, as I always say, keep being good out there, keep being safe. And of course, when you see something, say something. Samson Balogun is my name. Until tomorrow, same time, same station, same host. Bye for now.
Right, thank you for being a part of the show. My name is Oluwayemi Adelako, and until tomorrow, please stay safe. Bye for now.